Hey, you're watching Cow-Free Kicks. This is another leather-free shoe review that I'm bringing you today, and it is all about a new budget drop from Adidas. It's the ADIDAS SWIFT RUN RF. If you're new to the channel, I look into 5 main things when I review a pair of shoes, and at the end of the video I'll give them an overall rating out of 5 stars. And if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, just take 2 seconds to click that little subscribe button below and also the little notification bell. You'll get 2 things. Firstly, you'll get a notification every time a new review drops on the channel, and secondly, more importantly, if you do subscribe, you'll be entered automatically into any future sneaker giveaways on the channel. Last year I gave away 2 pairs of sneakers. This year I do hope to give away many more as the subscriber numbers keep on creeping up. Now let's move on to the first section where I'm going to talk about the looks of this new Adidas SWIFT RUN RF, but let's start it off by showing you how they look on feet. When I look at these shoes in hand, I don't think they're very good looking. I think they look really flat and quite plain. I do like how they look on feet though. I think they redeem themselves there, because I think the fact that the tongue rises up quite nicely, and the fact that you've got the branded detailing on the tongue, and also the fact they've got a slightly higher ankle, I think they look quite good on feet with the fact that they're quite narrow on the toe. I also like the embroidered patch on the toe area here on the inside of the sneaker. I think that's a good touch. I do like the fact that they are a little bit simple, but I think they're just a little bit too simple and plain to look at. On the sole, you've got these indents on the midsole here, but there's not too much going on. You've got a very basic sole on the underneath, just some black grid squares with a slight bit of the foam peeking through on the toe area. As you move around the back of the sneaker, you've got this Adidas branding here, and this part of the shoe here feels almost like a light fleece. It's got a light fleece feel to it, and as you go through the back, you've got the hardened plastic heel cup. Nothing really going on at the back of the shoe, very bland. As you move around, again, the slight fleece feel like filters off down towards the midfoot. You've got the 3 branded stripes with TPU overlays, again the same on this side here. You've got a small Adidas symbol just there. The laces on this sneaker are very, very thin. I haven't seen thin laces like this on a sneaker for a while, so if I was going to buy a pair, I'd replace them immediately, because I don't like the way they feel when you're doing them up. Just think they look a bit gangly and thin. Overall, I think they're an alright looking shoe on feet, but I don't think they look great. Now I'm going to move on to the curb test, and I'm going to show you how this unnamed midsole performed. So the midsole for this sneaker is incredibly rigid to the touch, and as you can see from the curb test, it really offered no give. It was very, very firm, just really punched back when I was really trying to put all of my weight on it to really show if there was any give in it at all, and for me there wasn't anything. When I was walking around in them, they just felt really flat. They're an incredibly flat shoe. There's no real curl to the toe. They don't really feel like a runner, and they've got run in the name, so for me it's a bit of a letdown, the fact that they feel so flat and also that they feel so uncomfortable underfoot. Now on top of your foot, when you're putting your foot in the shoe, there is a nice amount of padding around here. The tongue is very nicely padded. Inside of the sneaker is very, very soft. This is very soft to the touch as well. This sock knit upper that they've got, but overall the comfort was a real letdown. And one more thing, they're incredibly tight. I found these very, very tight. My toes were right at the end. So I would advise going half a size up if you're going to buy this pair of shoes. Next, I'm going to put these on the scales to see how much they weigh. These come in at quite an average 338, but to be honest, these shoes don't really offer too much. There's not really too much going on with them. They've got a very, very lightweight upper. For me, it's the fact that this midsole here is quite firm and rigid and obviously quite heavy, which is adding to the weight. Now, I wouldn't mind if you have a heavy mid, if the mid is going to give you something back, but the midsole on this sneaker for me doesn't really give anything back. So the weight coming in at 338, I don't think you could call them lightweight at all. They're very average, and for me, if you're getting nothing else out of an average weighted shoe, it's just a bit of a letdown again. So comfort and weight not really doing it for me. Let's move on now to the breathability test, where I'm going to pump it full of smoke so you can see how breathable this sock knit upper is. Great results from the smoke test. You can see the sneaker was incredibly breathable. One area that really surprised me with breathability was the tongue. As you can see here, the perforations on the textile tongue for this sneaker are larger than they are on the rest of the sock knit upper. So a lot of smoke escaped from here, but the rest of the sock knit upper was incredibly breathable too. Obviously, other than the areas covered by the TPU where you've got the 3 stripes, the sneaker performed really well in the breathability test. But then you move on to the price. Now these sneakers come in at £70. Now for me, that is too expensive. Based on the rest of the review, I really don't think they can charge £70 for a sneaker that really isn't offering that much for the price. I'd expect these to be around the £50 mark. So I really think they're incredibly overpriced. And unfortunately, Adidas, you've really let yourselves down again in that area, which is going to bring me on to my overall score for this shoe, which is a really basement level 2 stars. Really not happy with this pair of sneakers, to be honest. I've given them 2 stars because they performed incredibly well in the breathability test and they also look good on feet. But they're not comfortable, they weigh too much and they're too expensive. And for me, if I was you, I'd spend an extra £10 and get a pair of the Nike Renew Runs. I reviewed them a couple of videos back, go check them out because that's a 4.5 star pair of sneakers for £80. These here are a 2-star pair of sneakers for £70. Really do the math, spend the extra tenner and get yourself a really good pair of sneakers. Now, I just want to say again a massive thank you to everyone that's subscribed to the channel so far. If you haven't, just take 2 seconds now, click the little red subscribe button. Also, click the notification bell, you'll get a notification every time the video drops on the channel. If you haven't yet, you can follow me on Instagram and also give the video a thumbs up if you like what you've seen and drop any comments below. And I hope to see you all again very soon for another review on Cal Free Kicks. Thanks again for watching, bye!